second official .NET user group. So yeah, so I'm new. Is there anyone else new today? Like that just came because they saw Unity? Is that why you came? Yeah. Cool. Has anyone tried Unity before? Like, has anyone used it? A couple hands. Have you like made something with it?
I made a few
Yeah, you
once.
have.
Yeah.
We met at the Unite conference.
Yeah.
Cool. That's neat. Okay, so I guess my introduction. So I'm Jessica, and I work at iQmetrix here. And for about 3.5 years, I've been a software developer. And now this was my last product that I worked on. But now I'm transitioning into more of a software team coach, and sort of making resources for dev teams, so just stuff on like Scrum and Agile and that kind of stuff. So I'm actually not coding right now, so for about 2.5 months I haven't coded, so forgive me if things are a little bit more foggy than I remember than they once were. But we're going to talk about our XQ Shelf product today, so that's the one that you see on these two screens. So this is so as you can see, it was developed in Unity, and we'll go over kind of what the choices were that we decided to use Unity today, and then we'll kind of touch on what the challenges were, sort of tell you about the story of it, and then we can get in a little technical later if you guys want to. And I also have my colleague Ben Hanka here, who is currently on the team and has been from the beginning, so if I can't remember any of the technical details, he's got me there. So anyways, yeah, so this is the product. Is it okay if I walk?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Just if you guys didn't get a chance to play around with it, this is kind of like a start screen. You'd find this in a retailer store. So say you go into the store and you're looking for a particular cable you want. I want this one. But maybe it's not in stock, but maybe you can, not in stock in the store, but maybe you could order it right there. So this is kind of what this product is about. It's our solution to the endless aisle experience. So the endless aisle idea is that to sort of, for retail physical stores to keep up with the internet, right? They need to offer a little bit more because it's so easy for people searching online to go and buy something, right? And they can just, you never get like, oh, you can't buy that today. It's always there. You can always make an order. Whereas sometimes with stores you have to go around from store to store to store. So that's kind of what this product is. It's the idea of bringing in the entire catalog of stuff they could sell, and making that transaction right away before the user or the customer walks out. So it's about preventing walkouts. It's about creating an engaging story for the consumer, allowing brands to kind of tell their story. We wanted it to be customizable, so whoever is using the product can make it look specific to their brand, and kind of decide how they want their content displayed, that kind of thing. So we actually do have a few different themes, but I don't have them on display right now. But there was like a Halloween one where you could have little Halloween icons, and you can change the color and whatnot, and then add your logo. And then all the products are obviously your product catalog, not someone else's. So that's all sort of dynamic content to whoever is using it. So that's kind of what the product is. Yeah, so we wanted to have an endless aisle solution, draw people in, tell a brand story, and also keep it engaging, right? Like one of sort of the focuses for this product is how do we prevent walkout and how do we encourage people to go to the store and interact with the environment there. So, I think I just mentioned this, but how marketers could tell their brand story would be like this one up here, which is Zach's Underwear, and it's got the fancy start screen video, and it's sort of engaging, and then it says touch here, and you touch, and then it's like, oh, okay, like, it's Zach's Underwear. So we go into this one, and I'm not sure. Okay. If there was a bit more data in here, we could actually scroll down some sort of pictures and more details about this product. Let's see if there's a good one. So there's some sort of light features and whatnot there. Anyways, so we at iQmetrix started out as a our main market is the wireless retailers. So like our products are in MTS Connect. Would probably be the number one here that you would recognize. And so we've had some experience for that. Our flagship product has been a POS system for wireless retailers, and then the last couple of years we've been branching out into like the store environment there. So this was one of our first products called XAML. So this is sort of like the first try at it, and we learned a lot of lessons along the way. How to display things for users, how to get users interacting with the screen, what sort of content and design is sort of overwhelming to the user. This was written in WPF. And then we also tried, so after this we're like, okay, we want something a little more visually stimulating, and we tried actually writing our own graphics engine to add some fancy effects, and that quickly became siloed. There was only a handful of people that really knew how to use that, and it quickly became not performant as well. So just trying to write our own when we're sort of a retail management software company, we don't know how to write a graphics engine. So that's kind of lessons we learned from before this shelf product came into existence. So we were in a spot where we knew we wanted to start from scratch with this product, and we had to kind of figure out where to go from here. So what kept coming up from the vision of this idea, vision of this endless aisle solution was better than web experience. So we didn't want to just create a website that was in store that people could browse on their phone and pull on the couch, right? That doesn't really draw them in if it's just a website. So we wanted sort of a really interesting, interactive experience. So we were trying to think of what kind of technologies could we use to create that. So we wanted to tell a story. We wanted the options for fancy graphics, 2D and 3D. We don't have 3D at the moment, but one day. We wanted, the ability for brands to create their own content for it. We wanted cross-platform because many of our customers some of them use iPads in stores, some of them use Android devices, some of them use Windows. So we needed cross-platform. So we needed all these different things, and we were weighing it out. And HTML5. A lot of people did some demos. They're like, look, you can do fancy graphics with that, but at the end of the day, it was still a website, and we were looking for something different. And then we realized that the video game industry has that. They already have this platform for creating stories. So we decided to use that in a marketing capacity rather than a video game capacity. So we were looking for what kind of platform could we use to tell our story. And we came across Unity. And we liked this one, obviously because it had all these capabilities built in. It had, I think I'm getting into it. But it had a great community based around it. If you go to their website, there's a huge list of products that people are building. People are making asset packages for other people. Like, there's this huge, great community around it. If you go to the Unite conference, they do it globally in a couple different places every year. Like, it's just an awesome conference. All their talks are online too. I'll link that at the end of the show. So we knew it was being used, and there's lots of resources. It's a great product, like super powerful, and can pretty much do whatever you're looking for visually. It's familiar technology, so there's actually, we can use C# scripts to interact with the game objects from Unity. So the game objects in this case being our individual products. Also, like a camera could be a game object, that kind of thing. So we can use scripts to interact with that. So when we implemented filtering or sorting, so there's a transition animation applied to the products. Right, they fly up into the air. So all of a sudden we're kind of interacting with things on a stage instead of just sort of a screen. So we got that. But yeah, we got to use C# and now we're actually using XAML with it too. So the whole filter bar is coded with XAML. And we got to, it was cross-platform. Yeah, so it was a great choice for us. And there was also lots of support for it already. So what we got with Unity, so obviously all the awesomeness of having a game engine, like animations, being able to do blurs, being able to do transitions, cameras, lighting, anything you wanted to add to your story, the ability is there. Even like slowing down time, if you wanted to do some sort of cool effect that's what we've done sometimes for debugging, is had to slow down time to see what was actually happening during the animations, if they're all going all crazy. So it's just kind of a cool environment to play around with. And then we got the storytelling. This is one that I really like. It also increased sort of the play and collaboration and communication between our design team and our dev team, because Unity is actually, it's really nicely designed that designers can actually, like non-coding people can use it to make games. Like they can use the editor, they don't have to script. And then, the editor is also really nice for devs. You can make scripts, you can change the way the editor looks, you can customize it to how you want it to be.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sorry. So you're saying that your design team and your dev team were actually both using Unity Studio or whatever it's called?
Yeah, I guess not. No. Okay. So
they're both using Unity though.
Our dev team was, and then our design team became familiar with it. Like we've had conversations with them. We were able to tweak animations, like pull up a designer and be like, hey, what do you think this looks like? And sort of pair program the animation, right, with the designer right there.
Like in the editor, like in the code editor.
Yeah.
Like the designers are actually like not former coders?
No.
Okay.
No.
That sounds like a stupid question. I've never heard of that. That's cool. That's really cool.
And that's actually like part of the Unite conference. They have half the talks are sort of for designers and sort of animators, I guess they call them, whereas they're not necessarily code backgrounds, but they're still creating stuff in Unity.
That's cool. That's really cool.
So it was a really cool tool for that kind of collaboration, and all of a sudden we were able to play with things really easily. We were like, oh, what if we added a sparkle across the screen like this? Or I guess on on our start screen, the bounces and the light changes, and it just makes it really easy to try things out and show each other. So that was kind of a cool side effect. But we also got learning curves and growing pains because obviously we're not a video game company. We're a desktop app company, retail company. So, we didn't have video game experience. We didn't all have experience using cameras or sort of that graphics background or how to control scenes and, so there's all these other challenges, blurs, having our products being all squished on top of each other, and I'm like, what's going on? I don't understand. That kind of stuff. So, and then it also created a bunch of challenges. So it's funny looking back on this project. So I was on this for about a year and a half. I think we started this from the ground up last April. And so just thinking back about it for this presentation, we actually came across a lot of challenges and hurdles, but we got through them, so that was good. One of the challenges, hardware costs, because it's, graphics intensive, it can't just run on any old media player. So if we're trying to sell these to customers and they have to buy our $900 machine, that can be a blocker. So we've gotten it down to, I think, I want to say 600-ish, but we're also trying to get it on an Intel stick now. So just learning how to be more efficient with it has been a challenge. Rendering text to screen was actually an issue to overcome. I guess with video games, they usually use sort of a layer that's kind of stuck on the screen, but it's not very dynamic. We wanted to have branding fonts. We wanted to have the ability to kind of change the sizes, that kind of thing. People to be able to set this up how they want it. So that was an issue. So at first, I guess I'll talk about what we came up with for text to screen. There is a plugin or a plugin that you can use on Unity that basically enables or shows a web browser on screen. So I think that's a lot of what some of the video games do, is they kind of show the actual text areas, like the consoles are kind of actually a website. So we ended up having this detail card area. Actually, all the text used to be a website. And then you have stuff like this, where you're like, I don't know what went wrong. Okay, so it doesn't want to be touched. But so our whole detail card, that when you clicked on the product and the detail card came up, that all used to be a website. And so one of the challenges was that, because we liked the idea because we thought, okay, brands can create their own content for what they want to show on that detail card. They can write the HTML, CSS, and then we can bundle it up, show it. And we had that for a while, but you know what, it was slow and choppy and it wasn't performant within this app. So once we found a way to get out of that, we kind of had to take that out. So that was a whole growing pain because that was half our product. And even though we said better than web, half of it was a website. So we've taken that out. It's not a website anymore. So now we're using this other plugin called Gnosis, which is actually, it's like a copy of XAML or an implementation of XAML. We're actually able to write XAML code and then it projects it onto a game object and puts it on the screen. So this screen is actually all XAML coded. The trick with that, I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll come back to that in 1 second. But yeah, branding was going to be a trick, dynamic fonts, colors, and content. Usually in a video game, all the images and assets are already kind of pre-made and bundled up, and they know what their characters are going to look like. We don't know what people are going to put on their screen. We don't know what images they're going to set for their products. So we actually have that all in the service that it downloads all the images at the beginning and takes all the aspect ratios and all of that stuff, and we actually have to dynamically load all those images. Although I told we're working towards an asset bundle of it, so that's cool. But that was another kind of issue to solve. And for any of these, if you guys want to go in a little bit deeper at the end, or now, or just put up your hand and I can dive into topics a little bit deeper, but kind of just giving a high-level overview of some of the issues we faced. Dependencies on other people's libraries is always one. So this is the .NET user. I guess officially we're using Mono, which is the open source implementation of .NET. But Unity is built on top of Mono 2.6.4, which is an older version, meaning that it only has .NET 3.5, so that's a restriction. So just having to know what we can use with .NET 3.5 and not being able to use some of those fancier features. That's kind of a limitation, like when we have made packages for company-wide sort of, what's the word, authentication, we do that. We had to re-go and make that package for .NET 3.5. So it's like, well, this won't work with our product. So just having that is an issue. We're using Gnosis, which is not quite feature complete. Is it a full implementation of XAML, or is it using XAML?
It is its own implementation of everything.
Yeah.
So it's its own runtime, its own vector-driven rendering.
Yeah. So okay, so it likes XAML, but not quite, doesn't have quite all the features, so that can be a frustrating thing too when you're laying it all out and you go to try and run it and you're like, oh, it doesn't work in Gnosis, or touch it, but there's an issue, or whatever. Or now you're playing with I was going to say just playing with cameras, right? Knowing where to layer things is a whole new concept for business app developers. So the Gnosis layer just sits on top of the screen. How do we make sure that's shown above the other content, that kind of thing. So when I actually go into, this isn't working. Should I just restart this?
Spoke like a true developer. Save the log, files, what happens now.
Sorry, I think I was talking about cameras, but just having that kind of issue when we had the web on screen and the Unity on screen at the same time, that was another sort of thing. So, and then just stuff we already know how to use and you kind of don't think about it anymore because it's just sort of you're kind of spoiled by it, but using dependency injection and source control, we do use GitHub, but even just figuring out what files should be ignored because, if people are using Unity and Unity makes all these meta files to keep track of all these other data, and then that will just be a big mess when people are trying to work on the same thing together. So, our build servers have to have Unity on them to be able to run, to build Unity. unit testing was not so bad. I actually used a unit. But there's also integration testing, which you can actually write tests for the game environment and say, okay, I want this, when this product is filtered and it should do this transition, it should take this much time. You could actually write specific tests for that. So that's like, what tests do we write? What do you need to be testing? That's a whole other consideration for that. Yeah. So, I was going to talk about, talk about how Unity works, and then maybe I'll talk about how this product is set up. But Unity is built on top of Mono, so I mentioned that, the 2.6.4. So there's a whole open API for Unity. So in our solution, we use Visual Studio, right? So we use familiar technologies. We're using Visual Studio. We're able to debug in Visual Studio while Unity is running. We have a C# project. So it's kind of, our main business app is all a regular API or C# project. And anything that has to do with scripting for Unity goes in a separate project. So we actually have to talk to that project for dependency injection to load up all that Unity specific stuff. Sorry, it's not really here. I guess my point was that we kind of have this whole layer that's basically aside from the GUI that it could be attached to any GUI. It just looks like your regular Microsoft .NET app. So there's this API for scripting, and basically you attach scripts to game objects. So we're looking at products. These are all game objects. The camera is a game object. But this game object has a particular script on it that when we filter it out, there's an animation performed. So they can have those scripts attached to them. Something happens, they do it. So the scripts are run on a loop, game loop, so that it's kind of always checking if it needs to be run, if that game object is active and in the scene. And this is kind of what it looks like, or what the basic script looks like without any content in it. So it's just a loop. Everything extends this model behavior, which is a component for the game object. So even adding something like there's like game collections almost. So the shopping cart, this is a XAML view, but it's attached to, it's really no it's attached to the game object. This is so in this loop, in this model behavior, there's kind of two main functions. Obviously, start is for initialization before the game object comes into play, or before that component is used. And game objects can have multiple scripts on them, so we could just put a whole bunch of different scripts on here. So maybe on a, say, a phone product, so maybe one is for what the animation is when it's filtered, or when it's sorted, or it's how it should be sized on screen. there's also an update loop, which is constantly being run. So anything in the update loop will be run constantly, so you just put one line and you run them over again. So usually if statements in there. That's basically how the videos work, right? And then, you know, if it was to interact with something, you would add in the update loop. So if two phones collide or two game objects or player pieces collide, right? That code will be written in the update loop. So I'm gonna quickly. My next slide says code demo example. They don't have one, but we're gonna maybe at the end pull something up if you guys still want to. I'll show you the editor, and then I pulled up sort of an old code demo I had, but it doesn't compile, of course. So yeah, I'm just like that. But we'll go over that at the end. I'll show you that. We can play around with it. So here's some other stuff that's when you're like, okay, well, what could Unity be a solution for your product, for your project? There's a whole section on the Unity. I think it's unity3d.com. There's a whole section called Made with Unity, and they've got all these stories about how they made their app. Obviously, most of them are games, but there's a lot of other stuff in there too, so that's a cool place to check out. So they always do at the Unity conference, or at least the past couple of years, they do this one session called Unity in the Wild, and it's about people that are using it for not specifically board games. So that's a pretty cool session to look at if you go back to it. But there's people using it for art. They created like a sort of a paint draw program that you could. I can't quite remember this because I saw it last year. They inputted. I don't know if you like drew something and then it took a formula of that and then created this art piece from it, and then you could screenshot it and share it if you wanted to. But they're using it for art. There's a few different people, obviously stories and movies, like a lot of the video games these days and a lot of these sort of indie campaign video games are getting more to, it's more about the art side of it than the actual, and the storytelling than actually the gameplay itself, right? So there's tons of those, lots of indie developers. Unity is free. There's a free version of it, so you can just download it and play with it and create something, which is really cool. So stories, movies, that kind of thing. People in education are using it. They're weird. Okay. There was one that we saw at the Unity in the Wild session. They were also using VR and Oculus Rift, and they were creating a virtual tour of the body, so sort of like from an after school bus. If you ever watched that, they like went into the body, right, and like traveled through. You could see the red blood cells and that kind of thing. That's kind of stuff people were doing with it. So it's more of an educational tool to simulate something, right? Public installations. I thought this was one of the really cool ones. There's this guy from Moscow called Valentin. I don't know. Sorry if I said that. I probably said that. And actually, when I saw him at the United Conference, he was working for this own government. This government body that put on these public installations, and I was actually working for Unity, so that was interesting. I was searching this. But basically, he's created these sort of public art exhibits that they would just put in the middle of a public space. So it was like a photo booth that you would go out to, and you would use your hands. So there's just a few different. It can connect with Connect, right? You can use Connect technologies or Leap Motion. So it's sensing your motion. So people would go up to this booth, go inside it, and sort of move their hands around, and then when they paused, this one would create like a snowflake. So as they move, the snowflake would like go in and out. So this is the art thing, and then they pause, it It created a snowflake, it printed a picture, and gave it to them. And that was what they were doing with it. There was a similar idea that they would go into it I think when they stood still for a long time, and then they would take their picture with a funny hat where you got to pick what hat you wanted, you could like swipe away and then we would give you a postcard. Remember, he's got a lot of interesting things. This was one from this year. So there's actually, if you can see, there's 3 sets of hands here. I guess this is a game, but that's using Unity on sort of a 3D, like a 3D square, like a cube, that each person has their own side to that they play on. And so what was happening is this yellow line actually goes across the whole thing. So I think they're trying to keep this all in their box, and the other ones are trying to get into their own square. So just interesting. There's another one that was like Unity and VR, and they would put on a headset and it would just take you into this weird room to give you this weird experience, and then the walls just started shattering. And so again, it's just art, right? Like there was nothing else behind that. This picture is about modeling industrial automation, right? Factories are very expensive to set up, and how do you plan that kind of stuff out? Well, if you had a program that would show you what they would do, there's relevance there, right? To create the 3D world. Virtual chat rooms, I like this one. So I actually got to, they had a few people set up demos at Winnipeg, and I got thrown on Oculus Rift, and you were actually in a sort of virtual room, but there was other people there, and you could walk around, you had a controller, and then you could hear them, like you had a mic on, you could hear and talk to them, and their mouth was moving, and oh, it was really strange, because it's not like interacting with someone just by typing on the screen, like you can actually hear their tone of voice. I was smiling, right? Like I would be in sort of awkward exchange with someone, like it was a weird situation. Robots. This guy is programmed with Unity, and he's just sort of like a helper robot around the house, like if people need to remember medicine or whatever, and then programs or developers can actually add to it. Right? So it's kind of cool that it's not just for games. And commercial product displays, like this one. So really the possibilities are endless. So that's kind of cool. So more info. But I would, so like I mentioned, they have all their talks from the Unite conference online. They're all in their archive section. So unity3d.com/unite/archive, and then the year. It goes back, I'm not sure when the first one was, but it's been around for a few years, and those talks are all really awesome. Like I really enjoyed that conference. There was like technical stuff, if you really want to get technical, or really more artsy stuff, or stories, if you want to learn about how people made their games, or how they got crowdfunding for their indie kind of game. Gnosis Engine, if you want to find that tool that we use to basically code in XAML, that's Gnosis. It's called Gnosis GUI, but gnosisengine.com. And then visualstudio.com/ Is this a new feature?
Yeah.
That's new since I've yeah, Visual Studio has Unity tools now. That wasn't an independent company, but Microsoft is using their stuff now, and then you actually, like I said, you can debug from Visual Studio while running Unity, which is really awesome. Yeah, so I just barreled through all that, and I understand usually it's more interactive. right? How does it work? Good point. Okay, so I didn't go over like how people use this product, right? So yeah, they can't make HTML or CSS now. I don't know if we've determined if we'll do specific, like potentially we could have people code XAML and sending it over and adding it in. But we do have, so this is the customer facing display, right? But the actual display that the marketers use will be a website, or it is a website. So we have this hub and we have all these back-end platform services that are pulling all this data to add to this display. So the marketer will actually go into our hub. I should have had an image of this, but our hub system where they will set up what contents they want on each display. They can create different display sets for each different screen in their store. They can set their different colors, set the theme they want, set the order they want stuff in, what the categories are. So here's categories. Create a start screen that looks like this from their whatever images they want. So we have that sort of all available to them. And then they can edit right now what details they want in that detail part. So right now it's kind of images and text. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's still on our roadmap for thinking about.
Not right now.
Yeah.
More of a wizard flow currently is on that, and more options as you change your display from someone else and then two people buy the same product. It makes display make it look different from the names.
Yeah.
Because all of those images that are on that screen now would be provided by the marketer. They can crop them to, like, you can have 5 of them, crop them to the specific height, width, and then we will display exactly what they set up with web on each display.
Yeah. So, yeah, and another kind of thing they're trying to keep in mind is sort of thinking about being like a Shopify or sort of a WordPress, yes, like being able to make it easy for people to create things on the system. So yeah, they can't code right now for it. But we do have, our APIs are actually public. Or a lot of them are for providing information, so someone can actually create their own type of app that they would like to see. So, sorry, is that an answer? Yeah. Yeah.
You guys use Ruby 5 at all?
No, yeah.
Coming up with the next the biggest change.
Yeah.
So we want to integrate this support in January or before. So it's definitely not our roadmap.
Yeah.
I guess that's another sort of hurdle to go around is just like updates, right? And how do we take on the new system?
Questions?
Yeah.
So I know you covered this at the beginning. So what benefits have you and your client or anyone found with respect to using Unity and like a native application, specifically Unity, rather than something like a rich HTML JavaScript site? Because the HTML5 and some of the newer CSS3 and some of the newer specs, there's a lot of richness there. I was curious on what benefits you guys have found so far. Because I know you started with that, like, we're not just a website kind of background.
Yeah.
I was just curious on like how you continued that way, and you see more benefits now, or is it, well, you're a pretty good website?
Yeah. So I don't know, like I was going to say, but I'm not super familiar with web, so I don't know
That's fair.
if it's balanced. But I was going to say, well, I mean, we have the videos, the HTML videos, I mean, what can have videos too. Having that studio has been huge, and just being able to, we're still marketing this product to a lot of people, so to be able to quickly create the different demos and pitches has been really good for us. You know, because sometimes when we do a demo, we might add something special into it. Yeah, that kind of thing.
And then there's you, some things like total process industry, like currently not very heavily used in our system, but the option is there.
Okay.
And I think it conditionally be allowed for if you're finding a more powerful machine and more specifically added, but not for the details because they're much cheaper hardware and things like keep up with like the discussing like Blur that we have on many of the screens live so that every time that it's Blur it's something that's you can kind of fake, but that's a little hard to do. Turn out to be extremely
That's really cool. Okay. I also have a second question, but I'll let anyone else here ask some questions. They're good.
Yeah, actually, might be a silly one, but considering it's supposed to be better than the web, what's it like for metrics? Like at Google Analytics, for instance,
Right.
is it still possible to run metrics?
Oh yeah, yeah. We have Google Analytics in it. I mean, it's got a C# sort of solution behind it, right? SQL database that we generate, download based on whatever the brand's content is, and yeah, we can do whatever we want. So you know, we can take analytics on touches, right? Like, are they using one finger, two finger, are they tapping multiple times, or like any whatever data they want to record and send up to Google as
All right, so my second question. So one of the things I saw that kind of ties into my previous one too, but you talked about VR, the emotion, some of the Connect, some of those really kind of cool and innovative things that are primarily in the gaming space, but have you or your team or clients like started looking at some of those kind of options? I know that like Microsoft has the whole Service Hub, which I know that has problems, but this sounds like a solution that's actually better than Hub. Because you can attach all these things, and have you guys started exploring those, especially VR? That's super cool. So.
A couple of our devs are pretty interested in like I said, it sort of opens up exploration, right? So we have a team at Uber that they've got a lead motion over there, and is that what they're using? They did eye tracking.
Oh, they did eye tracking.
So you actually integrated eye tracking into Shelf, and then using the underwear one, you could tell like where you were looking.
Print out the postcard of the heat map where you were looking, really shames. So
but I mean, those are the kind of things that definitely retailers are interested in now, because they're trying to figure out, okay, how do we make the in-store experience exciting and interesting, something you can't just get at home sitting on the couch. So
very cool.
And also working, trying to integrate checkout and things like barcode scanners or things that you could interact with in a different way, so that if you had a product that had no idea how much it was, you could bring it up and show you details on that product and try to, of course, upsell you or like all these features that the product that they have in a retailer.
Cool.
did you guys want to see the next?
Yeah, I think everyone wants to see you that's cool.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't come out.
Okay.
Don't worry. It didn't even come out. It didn't work most of them, so it's all good.
look at my slides, I apologize. Because I can't see or. Crash it. Can't do it. This is really good.
Super stable, right? Just like all good dev software.
Okay, so here's Unity. There's a few different views you can have it. And this is just this is a goal demo that I haven't run since we started the Shell project like a year and a half ago. But I pulled it up. So you can see there's two different views here. There's the actual game, what the user will see once you run the game, that's on the bottom left here, and then the top is the stage and world, and you can kind of zoom in and play around in there. And then, so over here in the middle, it says hierarchy. Let me see that. Can I make the resolution bigger? Yeah. I want to see. I think maybe that's the problem before. Okay. So, okay, the hierarchy shows these are the game objects that are in the scene. Game objects can be in a hierarchy, they can be nested within each other. So this lighting has an arrow, or sort of walls. Walls group is the game object, and then there's the east wall, south wall. South wall, west wall, north wall. And so this is on the right hand side to show you what is happening for that game object. I've never used this before, so.
Just move your mouse around.
Oh, well, that's cool. Okay, so the inspector shows you what's happening with that game object. So this is the name of it, this is the position where it is in the world, X, Y coordinates, the center is 0. It's a cube, because it's a ball right now, so it actually has a hash to it. If you added a skin to that mesh, that would be on there. It's got a collider on it. So these are all components. This cube, this collider, this component. You could have a script that's describing that collider should do. So if something hits it, it's got this box on it. So this is what it looks like. There's a camera, which has missing scripts because I didn't attach them. But that's what it would look like. You add the scripts in there. Yeah, right, because at the beginning of the project, we always used to have to attach all the scripts again to the beginning objects, which we don't have to do now. So we fixed that. This is basically what it looks like. This won't run. Shell. And then you can also write scripts, which this is pretty cool, but you can make the editor look however you want. So if you want certain buttons to do certain things, add effects to whatever you're looking at, you can do that. So that's kind of neat. And there's lots of examples of that in some talks or conferences.